Welcome back to Fire Emblem Echoes. So, last time we traversed a forest, and now it's back to Ulm. So, he's all the way down here. He's finally ready to go back to Rigel. I don't care about that skeleton. So, today, we just have to fight two guys. Sometimes that's all you need to fight. On the 75th day of the month.
Jerome, sir, I report.
Yeah, that's a Jerome right there.
Reach these plains momentarily. So the peasants made it here after all.
This man is a parody of what I don't know.
Oh, hey, that sounds familiar. Can't wait to talk about voice actors for this guy.
Prepare to intercept them, and mind your allegiances wisely. If I smell even a whiff of betrayal, you know what will happen.
Don't worry, I've never betrayed anyone in my entire life.
I was about to say, something tells me this guy is not the betraying kind.
Alright, so, we gotta fight two armies here, so... I gotta admit, this looks like a pretty tough fight coming up. Let's just cycle through all the normal enemies, and then we've got two bosses as well. So let's see here. First off, we have Zeke. I mean, he's got nothing equipped, but he's a gold knight, so he's gonna be tough. And then we also have Jerome. He's got gold on him. Get his ass. Alright, well, my poor army is gonna have to deal with that. Psych! We have Tatiana.
It's you!
Tatiana? But how?
I was saved by the Deliverance.
Like 2 weeks ago. It's been a while.
It means you don't have to heed another word Jerome says.
What?
Thank you,
Oh.
Tatiana.
Oh no.
Now you have saved me as well.
It's a good thing they can both project their voices so far.
We march on Jerome's army. Prepare to attack.
And yet... What?
I didn't think you fool.
Oh, well, fine. Then we'll just kill Tatiana. I was just talking to her. Oh, shit.
And now so am I.
Oh.
You've ground
I was wondering why you were yelling across the battlefield. My mistake.
Oh, you're approaching me.
Can't kick your ass unless you get closer.
He just teleports directly in front of him. That's my line.
Alright, so needless to say, if you don't rescue Tatiana first, this battle is a lot harder, because you do have to fight both groups. So, you know, maybe do the story thing and save her. Save her for your own skin's sake, if nothing else. So, of course, Zeke here is voiced by Patrick Seitz.
Yeah.
He's had a lot of roles, so many roles. Here's a small selection of them, including, but not limited to, me accidentally spoiling Valkyrie Profile 2 because apparently Brahms is in that game and Patrick Seitz voices him.
Yeah, VP2, they have like completely different voice acting cast. It's all a bunch of non-4Kids people, so who fucking cares?
Miss me with that like that Cavalier missed that shot.
you upstarts have brought death upon yourselves.
I can totally handle this! Fuck! I think I win moral victory. Alright, anyway. Patrick Seitz also plays Dracula in basically like any given Castlevania after Symphony of the Night, but before like the more modern stuff, so like in Judgment or Order of Ecclesia, and also the remake of Symphony of the Night. So nothing I'm interested in, but he does voice Dracula a lot, and he does a fine job with that. Really, if anything, he does too fine a job, and that's why I'm insulted by him replacing the original voice actor in Symphony of the Night. Anyway, here's a voice credit that I don't actually, like, I have not heard it, but it's interesting. He does apparently play Sloth in Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, which I could probably see that.
Yeah.
Kind of want to hear it, but yeah. He is the male time patroller in Dragon Ball Xenoverse. So if you're playing a male character, there you go. You get to be Patrick Seitz. The one advantage of playing male time patroller.
I can't believe my Namekian is voiced by Patrick Seitz.
In terms of other Dragon Ball voices, though, he also is just the voice of Jiren from Dragon Ball Super. That's just him. Jiren's not my favorite villain, but you can't say he's badly voiced. He's also Ulbrich Eisenberg from Octopath Traveler. I did not watch enough Fist of the North Star Lost Paradise to hear this, but Rao.
Yes!
Yeah, I could see him being a good Rao.
He's also the voice director for the dub of that game. So he got to cast people, he cast himself as Rao.
I mean, good choice. Good one there, Patrick Seitz. You knew you were good for the role, and you know what? Good on you for taking it. Anyway, Vengeance got me to victory. Couldn't quite do enough damage without it, but, with it, yeah, did damage, and then Matilda just killed this man. And he dies wondering, hey, how the fuck did somebody kill a noble? That should be impossible. Anyway, back to voice actors. Well, we're almost done. And before we get to the Fire Emblem roles that he's done other than Zeke, he is, of course, the voice of Dio Brando from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Again, he plays so many roles, so chances are you know Patrick Seitz from something. But if you know him from anything, it's probably Dio. He does a great Dio. We all know this by now.
Looks like he had bit parts in Inside Out, the Pixar movie. I would not have thought he'd be in a Pixar movie.
He does show up in a lot of weird places.
God, he's had the shittiest luck with Sonic, because he voices Zavok and Lyric.
I think he also voiced the Fat Joke character in the original Sonic Lost World. I think I saw that on there. So, yeah. Sorry, Patrick Seitz, you got all the bad ones.
Why don't they just let you voice Knuckles?
So, in terms of other Fire Emblem voice actors, he is Basilio and Laurent from Fire Emblem Awakening, Yuritsa, Death Knight, and Lambert from Fire Emblem Three Houses, and alright, so here's all the heroes' voices he does. Drog, Hector, Bramamond, Basilio, Brady, Garen, and Death Knight. So, a few that he lost Laurent, but he got Brady instead, so shrug. And here's another voice role for him as well. He's also Camus, which, that's weird. Camus looks a lot like Zeke. Anyway.
Yeah, it's because they're both references to Char.
Yeah, of course. Any other voice actors?
I mean, probably. I'm still scrolling.
Well, yeah. I'm just wondering if any jumped out at you. I should mention, in terms of strategy for this one, as long as you, of course, rescued Tatiana and have Zeke on your side, this is pretty much just a matter of shuffling all of your good units to the front to block access to your weaker units from the enemies. Otherwise, you have a whole lot of actually pretty competent green units to help you out, so there you go. Also, most of my units didn't really make it to the fight because Zeke kind of just got in there.
Yeah, Zeke knows what he's doing. Anyways, Patrick Seitz also voiced the main character in Redline.
Yeah.
And, I don't know if I want to open this can of worms, but he is in Italia.
I think I know what you're going to say. Yeah.
We'll just skip that, not talk about that. You can look that up on your own.
In general, I don't know much about Hitalia, but I know enough to know I never want to talk about it. But also, yeah, looking through that list, ooh, tough luck there, Patrick Seitz. Ooh. You got, like, the worst one you could get. Oh yeah, and I should also mention the strategy. If you haven't rescued Tatiana, I know the battle's over, so if you're on the cut commentary version, you're not hearing this, but if you didn't rescue Tatiana, hope to God your tanks are good, because you've got a bridge to stop all of those cavaliers. Also, there's some mages and archers in there, so really just pray. If you didn't rescue Tatiana, good fucking luck. Alright, so Zeke wants to meet us in the village, so let's go to the Regalian village. Alright, gotta see a man about... I don't know, what are you about, man?
You don't have to feel uncomfortable. I don't care what land you hail from.
I'm not racist. I just hate Jerome.
Jerome fucking sucked, we all hate him. Jerome and the actual literal witch that plagued us for years. Glad they're dead.
Also, I found another sites roll that I thought was funny. Do you remember Eternal Sonata, the JRPG based off of the dying dream of real-life composer Frédéric Francois Chopin?
I heard the name of that game, did not know that was what that was about. Okay, sure.
He played Chopin.
Okay.
He played real-life composer Frédéric Francois Chopin. I'm probably butchering that name because it's French and I'm sorry.
Commoners' lives have to be so damned common. Huh? You think it'll change? You think we can change it?
Anything can change, Gray.
It'd be nice if commoners had the same shot.
That's right, he played Ichigo's dad in Bleach.
If we build that world,
and then a lot of other people after Bleach went on too long and a lot of the voice actors left.
Yeah, there's also just a lot of, like, the usual animes that I rarely mention because I didn't watch them, but, you know, he's done some One Pieces, he's done some Narutos.
I assume this was a one of the redubs. He plays Kunzite in Sailor Moon. I know who that is conceptually. I know that's one of the 4 main bad guys from the first season. Don't remember what was special about Kunzite.
So I intend to spend my life perfecting them. I understand my calling, even if Delphia does not.
Alright, so let's see, we've got a whole lot of vineyards. They grow so many grapes here. And yet we always get the ram wine. Some of these trees are unfamiliar to me. I have never met this tree before. Damn. Pretty hardy trees. I don't know any of these, though.
Okay, no named characters, but I do want to mention Patrick Seiss voices background characters in Shenmue 3.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so let's talk to this young man.
I got no love for Zofia.
Now, this guy likes us less than the man at the entrance, but he doesn't, like, super like us either, because we're from Zofia, and, well, we've had it too good for too long, I guess. To be fair, we don't really have it good anymore, so we can be friends.
You eat your fill without working a day. Life's just one big party for you lot.
Mostly for the king, but he's dead, so it's fine.
I don't know where he got that idea. Somebody still has to work the fields, damn it.
So here's a guy with a side quest. And yeah, I picked up some at the Sage's Hamlet. He can make ambrosia right now. Except he needs ingredients. We have yogurt and an orange, but we're missing Duma moss, so we can't make ambrosia. So, no stat gains for us just yet. Oh darn. So anyway, it goes without saying, but the villagers here sing a much different tune if you do actually manage to get through the previous fight without rescuing Tatiana. Everybody hates your guts if you kill Zeke, because they really like Zeke. I didn't record any footage of it, because I didn't really feel like redoing a lot of that stuff, or doing that fight without Zeke coming to my aid.
Tatiana found him washed up ashore one day, badly wounded. She was nursing him back to health when, well, you've seen his face.
That guy's fucking hot.
A fortnight before before she was in love. Don't suppose I can blame her.
Are you all headed to Rigel Castle? I see. Perhaps that's best for His Excellency as well.
I guess it's good that you're going to kill the king.
Oh, the king is going to kill you, whichever, I don't really care. I'm old.
Spawn there without end. Or so the
Anyways, look out for the dragons. Bye.
There are just limitless dragons in our mountains. How we haven't been overrun yet is beyond me.
They can't leave the mountains. They've been cursed by witches.
What? You killed the witches? Shit. Hey, you should move that farther away. This isn't OSHA compliant. OSHA doesn't exist. Well, it should.
It'd be funny if the lumber was blocking a door and he said that.
Oh, hello, random man in the blacksmith. Alright, so this is a side quest man, and he's mentioning Draco Shield, so... You can probably guess, this man can get you a Draco Shield, and you don't even have to kill to say early on in the game to do it. But you do need to have dragon scales, and I extremely don't have 4 yet, so... If I remember correctly, Celica has the dragon scale at the moment, but even if I did send it over to Alm, it wouldn't help because I can't get 4. We failed the scale. One day, maybe. One day. Anyway, you do want the Draco Shield, though, because it is incredible. One of the best shields in the game, easily. But not today. For now, we're going to House 1, where we can finally find Zeke.
We meet again, Alm.
So sorry I didn't actually talk to you on the battlefield, but that's not how you recruit people in this game.
Now that I have turned my lance on Jerome, Rigel will not have me.
What are you talking about, Zeke? We love you!
That lance to you. I still have no recollection of who I am, or from whence I came.
You've lost your memory?
I have. All I know is that I washed up on the shores of Rigel grievously wounded. I was thrown in prison and accused of being a spy, or worse.
I bet those are just fake stab wounds all over your body. This guy looks like a Zeke. Yeah, I'm going with Zeke.
Raised you. You were already an adult when you got here, Zeke.
I came upon the shores of Rigel and thought I was a baby.
I didn't know. I'm sorry. Forgive me for...
I'm assuming he just meant, like, tended to me while I recovered.
Alm, by the gods!
What's wrong?
In addition to Tatiana, who also did that. Also, I love the CG so much, it looks so weird. Here's this beautiful man just about to weep at the sight of this teen's fucking weird hand scar.
Emperor Rudolph gave me what I thought was odd advice. He said that if I met a man with a mark on his left hand, I was to follow him.
If you find a protagonist, you must join him and kill me.
All of Rigel, and with it, all of Valentia.
That's very strange.
Okay, I'm starting to think your emperor's a weirdo.
Now that I have met you,
Yeah.
I must heed my emperor's
Yeah.
orders. I am yours to command, my lord.
Alright, here I go. Just an immediate 180. I'm with you now. Alright, so Zeke joined us. Alright, future me. Talk about Zeke. We're gonna look at him and then I'm gonna talk about him, but, you know, not now, later. Okay, so by this point, we've had a few Cavaliers under our belt, so you kinda know what Zeke's deal is. He's known mainly for his movements. Being able to move around the battlefield with 9-hole movement is extremely good, and definitely an advantage. That being said, we are fast approaching the end of the game, so how does Zeke fare against Gold Knights you've already trained? He's alright. His base stats aren't half bad. And honestly, all of his growth rates are pretty high too. There's nothing out of the ordinary that he's particularly bad in. As always, I should remind you that this is Echoes, so of course his resistance growth rate sucks, though to be fair, 6 as a starting growth rate is kinda bad at this point in the game. So he's certainly not going to be taking magic attacks, but if you've been using Clive just fine, then honestly, Zeke's kinda better than he is, just in general. So, bad resistance is nothing new, and also, Zeke's just pretty powerful and fairly defensive. The only thing that starts particularly badly is his luck, which sucks, sure, but it's not the worst weakness he could have. He might need a little bit of time to grow his hit rate, and he certainly doesn't start the fastest, but provided you don't get unlucky, he's gonna grow decently well. The main matter is pretty much just, we're almost at the end of the game. Chances are, Clive, Matilda, and any of the villagers you may have turned into Cavaliers, they're probably really good at this point. If this were any other Fire Emblem game, you'd probably bench Zeke for the sake of whatever Cavalier you've put time into, but until we reach a dungeon, that's not anything you have to worry about. He will perform very well out in the field, and I guess if your other Cavaliers somehow died, well, he's a good replacement for them. But also, dang, if all of your Cavaliers on Alm's route, other than Zeke, are dead, wow, you really fucked up. You better go find one of those fountains. You kinda need it. Bring back another Cavalier. Look, Zeke can hold his own, but like, Matilda though. Anyway, we've got another Gold Knight now, so that's good. I mean, look, Matilda's already Gold Knight at this point, but it can't hurt to have another. Alright, and what secrets are you hiding? Oh, Ivy! Dang, Alm. You got those shower thoughts there. Get some garlic. And, ooh, more lumber to criticize. Hey, anybody planning a little construction project? Aren't you the leader of Deliverance? Aren't you going to... You're about to kill our king, right?
No, guys are just like that. No, in fact, if you start building something, men will just walk by and start commenting on it. Men are just attracted to construction projects. Why do you think, if you ever walk by a building, they have, like, chain link fences? Because if they blocked sight, they'd be climbing over the walls to see them.
Mm-hmm.
Shall save all of Rigel, and with it all of Valentia.
Anyways, now the Gray's being sarcastic again. We mentioned this at the beginning of this game. The dialogue is fairly sarcastic for a Fire Emblem game, but I think it actually works here as opposed to other games that I won't mention because I literally can't remember the name. It helps that it doesn't feel like it's in a show-stopping way like it is in that other game. Almost just like, it's kind of a weird thing to say, and Zeke's like, yeah, but I'm gonna listen to him, and then just move on.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't interrupt anything.
It doesn't feel smug. Alm isn't mugging the camera, he's just saying what's coming to mind.
Maybe you guys are destined to save the world together, or whatever. I mean, it has to be fate or something that the two of you met, right? Fate? I don't know about that, Gray. It's a coincidence for sure, but... Kidding! I was kidding! Sheesh, man. You're really starting to worry me here.
Gray, meanwhile, definitely is being smug.
Mm-hmm. But that's just Gray.
Yeah. Again, it works into the character. As long as it feels like characters are talking to each other rather than the character talking to the audience, it's fine.
It's not literally everybody with the same dialogue over and over again. So anyway, this should be the end of the video. However, I made straight for the exit right there. So, turns out, if you go back to the entrance after you recruit Zeke, you can find a memory prism, which I did not find until, recently, where I'm long past this point, but thankfully had a file where I could just double back over here. So, here's a memory prism.
Another day of fine weather.
And this big old boat.
Stretching my legs in the morning. Perhaps I'll gather some shells. Huh?
There's just a guy here.
Who's there? He appears badly wounded.
Does he? He looks fine. Where's the unique character art of Zeke being stabbed to shit?
He's alive. Are you all right? Stay with me.
Nina.
Always fucks me up that that's pronounced Nina, because I always pronounce it
What am I
Nina.
doing? I need to go get help before he keels over. I'll be right back. You just hold on.
So I'm gonna stop playing coy for a few seconds to say, God damn, man, not only were you stabbed to shit, but also you survived floating from one continent to another.
I thought you were dead for sure.
Yeah, forget how...
Also, there wasn't an ocean nearby the battle he may or may not have been involved in.
My name is Tatiana.
I think there might have been a river, but that's it.
landed in the river, flowed out to the ocean, then...
My name is...
And
Yes?
where is this? Because if this is where the village is, that's on the opposite side of this other continent, right?
Yes, also, yeah, maybe she was just very, very far east, except that's like all the swamplands and stuff and where the Doom Occult hangs out, so... He floated down the river into the sea, and then when he got to another continent, floated around the other continent.
Okay, this is the important part.
Yes.
Was he on the eastern or western part of the previous continent?
To give you something else to fret over.
I believe he was on the western part, at least. I'm pretty sure that's where Grust is, if I remember my Arcadia map correctly.
I was gonna say, maybe he just went the other way. Maybe this is just a small world and he looped around.
It would be my honor.
I should also mention, like, everything pre the Game Boy Advance games does share a world, so there is at least one more continent, though we don't know where that is in comparison to the other two.
Now is to heal.
Maybe. Well, okay, he couldn't have passed it because we know where Arcanea and Valentia are relative to one another, so there couldn't be one in the middle that he just passed.
I'm just picturing Zeke's fucking corpse floating through a river and then into the ocean while fucking Brody Quest is playing.
Same brain cell.
I could see you were hurt.
Zeke just passing through like every Fire Emblem game.
Zeke's apparently dead corpse passing through every Fire Emblem game.
So lean on me and let me be your crutch for as long as it takes.
Is Zeke a spirit in Engage? Is Zeke's bloody corpse a spirit in Engage?
I believe he is one of the minor rings in some capacity.
So just like the idea of his corpse floating through a river, ending up engaged briefly, and then back into the river.
Anyway, that's it. We talked over most of that one, but I guess there are a couple now.
What? We're ignoring the romance in this game? How unlike us.
I mean, these two are okay. It's a wife guy and a husband gal.
Yeah, inoffensive straight double.
It's just a Florence Nightingale thing. Dang, here's this lady that saved me. We're dating now.
And I'm sure there won't be any fallout from this relationship. There won't be any love triangle nonsense that we have to worry about because of this relationship.